And I am here with two beers from Sam Adams. Actually, I have a lot of beer to do that is from Sam Adams. I have six beers to do. I'm gonna do two of them right now. Well, two videos tonight. This one is going to be a revisiting of Samuel Adams Boston Lager. Now, I did review this when I first started doing beer reviews, so there is a review in my playlists from a long time ago that I've done of this beer. But it's been a while since I've done a review of it, so we're gonna go ahead and do that. Gets 3.74 out of 5 on Beer Advocate, and it is 5% alcohol by volume. Percent alcohol by volume. So let's go ahead and get into this. This is kind of what is called their flagship beer. It's their main one that I think this is the one that sells the most. It's kind of what I think of when you think of Samuel Adams. It's kind of like their main one. 12 fluid ounce bottle, 30 IBUs. And we have a notched, I like how they do these notches, but also these are best by dates that they put on these Samuel Adams bottles. It says best by April of 2018. Again, that's not for you, the consumer. It is for the people who are selling it in the stores. So you really don't know when this beer was made. So it's another thing I like to point out about these. We really want to see, the best thing to see as in a date is a born on or a bottled on date. That's when you really know how old it is. You really know when it was made. So enough about that. Let's go ahead and get this into my Stella Artois glass. I have this like every once in a while. Not something that I regularly get, so it's kind of like it's kind of like an every once in a while thing for me. So, right immediately you can tell that this is a really nice looking beer. It looks really nice and appetizing to me. 3 fingers of cream colored head. The body is clear with some bubbles going upward. And it has like a amber copper sort of look to it, the color. So what I'm getting off of this is sort of a slightly bready barley malts, and kind of a bit of a hoppiness to it. It smells really nice with that, malty but also hoppy sort of profile. This is supposed to be like a regular balanced lager with a little more hoppiness to it than your macro, like the Miller High Life that I chugged earlier. So I am sort of, having had that Miller High Life that I drank the entire 40 of, and I drank one other beer after that, so I'm kind of a little bit into the, I'm a few beers in, I guess. Total would be 3 beers if you, I guess 140 is probably about 2 beers. Let's go ahead and get a sip of this. This is my grandpa's favorite beer. Yeah, it's very smooth. Very smooth. This is my grandpa's favorite beer. My grandpa loves beer. He doesn't get into the crazy stouts and IPAs and stuff that I do, but he loves a good, balanced, smooth lager like this. And this is one of his favorite beers ever. This is the grandpa the grandpa that I talk about sometimes, that really that I have given him beers to try and stuff, to try to broaden his horizons from this. Basically, this is his thing, and I try to broaden his horizons a little bit from that. So this is, like you said, the person who commented in the chat, very smooth, balanced. You have some nice bready, slightly bready, not really that bready. There are a lot of beers that really have a bready profile to them. This one doesn't have that much of that, but it does have a little bit. Um, so it does have a nice bit of maltiness to it, which kind of balances out. And then you also have some nice hops there too. The hops are kind of, and, the malts balance out the hops, so there's no. This isn't like a pale ale or regularly an IPA where you can sort of discern what kind of hops are here. So this is kind of like a straightforward hoppiness, but in the best way possible. Back when I was first drinking beer in 2010, 2011, a bit before I turned 21, I thought this was really, really hoppy. That's what my opinion was. But then I kind of had what you would call a virgin palate. And in the 8 years since then, I've kind of broadened things out a little bit, as you've seen in my many, many beer reviews on this channel. But this has a good amount of hops to it for a lager, I would say, and it's very, very balanced. Very balanced. You get a good bit of both things, hops and malts, and it makes it just a really enjoyable experience. Sometimes you really want the stouts and IPAs that really punch you in the face with something. Would I buy this over Stella Artois? I would say yes. I do love Stella Artois, but I've had an issue with some Stella beers that I've bought. That some bottles end up being somewhat skunky, and I do love Stella. And I had a girlfriend last year I had a girlfriend who her favorite beer ever was Stella. Stella for me though it's very, very good. I love that beer, but the skunky issue because of the green bottles. There's some beers who have a green or a clear bottle and don't manage to ever have a bad skunky beer, while there's Stella who has a green bottle, unless you find it in cans, where sometimes they end up being skunky, and I'm not a fan of that. But then I think this just might have a bit more flavor than that does. But that's just my opinion. So, but they're both fantastic beers, and I've bought both of them a lot. This is just, sometimes you want that really those stouts or IPAs that have a big amount of something. They're big, and they're gonna punch you in the face with something. But sometimes you also want a balanced, cohesive, rounded out sort of beer, which you have a nice, enjoyable experience, a nice, smooth experience. The feel is pretty light. It's not light like a macro. It's a little bit heavier than a macro. Definitely has some good body to it. I'd say it has more body to it than Miller High Life, but Miller High Life still has good body to it anyway. So, slightly dry, very drinkable, very, very crushable. I could kill this right now if I chose to. This is a solid A- to A. I think that's kind of the range that I see this beer. I think it just is a fantastic product. Sometimes I'm kind of like two-sided when it comes to beers. Sometimes I really want a beer that's going to hit me in the face with something. Sometimes I want something like Founder's Breakfast Stout, which is going to hit you in the face with coffee. Sometimes I want Founder's Porter. Sometimes I want, Stone Arrogant Bastard. But then other times I want just something nice, something balanced, like Miller Genuine Draft, like Miller High Life. So I'm kind of depends on in the mood I'm in. But this is a fantastic product. I'm gonna go ahead with the A here. Let me know. I'm sure that anybody who's into beer has had this because it's very, 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 very popular. Let me know your thoughts on the Boston Lager from Samuel Adams. Love this company. They've done a lot of great beers. There's beers in the fridge for me to do from them because I bought a 12 pack full of different stuff from them, and this was in it. But I hadn't done this for a while, so I thought I would revisit it. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and thank you for watching.